Good morning. I wanted to, first of all, to apologize that I haven't had videos up regularly. There have been a bunch of things going on aside from just being busy outside. Um, I had one video that I was pleased with, and then um, apparently my hands were shaking so hard that the jittering bothered even me when I did a playback. So I'll probably go over that one again today. But right now it's on a video stand, so theoretically no shaking. I've had some problems that I finally figured out what the problem was, and basically it would probably be best for me to either go back on the keto or go on a full carnivore diet, but that's not going to happen. So right now I'm on vitamins. I'm taking vitamins and stuff to solve the problems, because apparently my body is not handling zinc very well. It's just eliminating it rather than storing it. So I'm on a lot of zinc supplements. But anyway, so there's a lot. I'm finally back to the point where I can actually think, and I'm functional. I want to do more than just sit around and stare at the walls, which wasn't a depression issue. It was actually a nutrition issue. So, hi girls. So I wanted to show you this. This is the one that turned out really, really shaky. Let's see if I can find a place to put this thing. This spring, I got a bunch of new birds. Let's see if I can actually show you. That one, I think that's probably the best view you're going to get. Anyway, I decided that I wanted to put the new birds up in the rafters in this area. There are a couple of reasons for that. One is that birds, from my perspective, are far more vulnerable in a coop setting than they are outside. And that may depend on your predators, it may depend on your chickens, but I have story time. When I first moved into this house, I knew that there was a run. I did not think that there was a coop. The real estate agent showed me the run. I wasn't really paying attention. But when I bought the house, I realized that there were two doors at the back of this overhang or barn or whatever, not just one. So there were two doors. So I opened up the second door, and it's actually this one over here, the one that's open. It's that one that's open over there. I opened up the second door, and there was a bird skeleton at my feet. There were several whole skeletons. Probably about a dozen birds had died in there. And I do not want that to be a risk for my birds. So I want them to be able to survive out here, so that I do not have to let them out in the morning, and I do not have to rely on a pop door that may or may not open on some random day. I don't want to take those risks. I would much rather have them out here eating grass and weeds and bugs and enjoying chicken life. I would rather have that, far rather have that, than take the risk of having them trapped in the coop and me not able to get to them for whatever reason. Maybe I pass away. Maybe I, end up in the hospital, can't speak for myself, whatever. And no one realizes that they're there and they die. So I do not ever, ever, ever want to take that risk. So this year, when I got the new chicks, I have started putting them up in the rafters, so that they are used to the rafters. They don't need me to let them out since they're free ranging all the time anyway. I figured this was a good compromise. And if they they can let themselves out. I don't think it's possible that owls would get up here, but I don't think that they will think about it, if that makes any sense. I think they will be safer up here than in a tree. And they can get up, but predators can't get up. So I think this is probably the safer option. So I started putting the younger chicks up there. All of them, I will show you. I want to do a video where they are coming down in the morning so that you can see what that looks like. But in any case, they are using that rafter area and they seem to be happy with it. So let's see, what next? There's just so much going on and so many things. I actually found wild blackberries on my property, which it was in an area that was being mowed. All of this is what is known along the wall there. That's what is known as ground cherry. It's actually got an interesting flavor. I'm going to be watching that and collecting seeds for that for a while. I wanted to also show you this. Now this one, when I first moved in, I do not like mowing in corners, around blocks, all this stuff. So when also when I step down here, a lot of times if there's been rain, I will just step into a puddle. This is just water. So I filled it up with wood chips and put the blocks in, of course, which the chickens are busy rearranging. But I filled all of this in with wood chips in the hope that I would not have to mow. But there is a type of grass, and I may eventually figure out how to work with this, but there is a type of grass here that is just all of this. It comes in, I can't remember what it's called. It comes in under the surface, and it's in the soil. It's in the soil underneath, not just in the wood chips. If it was just in the wood chips, it would be easy to get to. But unlike the invasive grasses that I worked with before, this one puts its roots down in the soil and, well, clay, and in the wood chips. So it's not easy to pull up. But this is all filling in with that invasive grass. So it appears that the majority of the grass that I have here is this stuff. And it's not behaving itself. So I'm going to try some other things, but for now, the idea of this being just wood chips and not having to mow this is going to have to be abandoned. I'm finding a lot of wild plants coming up from the seed bank. This area was a horse pasture for many, many years, and before that it was tilled and cultivated. So it's probably been at least 50 years, probably much more, since this was natives, or since this was it's native soil. But the thing is that I think that it was forest or possibly savanna, most likely forest of some kind, until they decided to till it up. I don't think this was just plains. The mushrooms, mushy rooms. Come on, mushy rooms, you're doing a good job. These are right. These are not agaricus. And at least I don't think so. Hold on. Let me pull one and see. Whoa! Okay. So this is not an agaricus. If you can look, see, this is green. This is a weird green. Whoops! It's a weird green color. This is, I believe they call this false parasol. But it's growing everywhere, and that's okay. I do have agaricus here as well, but most of them are the false parasol, the green. They have the green spores and the green spore print. Got some more over there and over there. And anyway, I think this must have been forest because of the things that are coming up from the seed bank. As I stop mowing in various areas, I'm finding very interesting things. I found, as I said, wild blackberries. Okay, so we have, the spoon leaf is gone, but the curlicue is still there. Okay. All right, here's another one. Follow this back to the first leaf joint, and the curlicue is still fully green. Oh, there's another one over here, but this is my morning ritual. Okay, so the curlicue on this one, you can see it. The curlicue on this one is drying up, but it's not completely dry. The neighbor's dogs, the neighbor just got, I guess all of their old dogs died, and they got 3 new puppies, and they're not training them at all, which I suppose I'll deal with it, but it's irritating. I feel like going over there and saying, look, if you're not going to train these dogs, let me do it. Okay, so curlicue is drying up, spoonleaf is gone. Curlicue is still there, and so is the spoonleaf. Anyway, this is my morning ritual. Okay. Alright. Anyway, I'm not going to look at the rest of the watermelons. There's a whole bunch more in there. Doesn't look like any of them are ripe this morning. Strawberries are doing great. They haven't started blooming for the fall yet. I don't know if they will. More watermelons. I planted a bunch of stuff at the beginning of August, and this is one of them. And there is, somewhere in here, there is there's a watermelon. I saw some tiny watermelons on there the other day. Sweet potatoes, they are actually, I'm not going to eat them. They are there as a soil conditioner. The idea is that they will put roots down into the ground, and they will start to fix the soil. Okay, so we've got tomatoes, peppers. Let's see what peppers look like. Okay, there's one. Okay, peppers. We've got tomatoes. Tomatoes are just starting to come on, which... Hi, dog. You're okay, honest. Thing is, I haven't been introduced as part of their pack, so I'm gonna set this here, if you don't mind, and try to see if there are any cucumbers in there. There were some tiny ones yesterday. I planted these on August 1st. Let's see. I know there were some in there that were almost ready yesterday. They're tiny. Those can probably handle another day or so. Yeah, there are a few more in there. Okay, got one. Alrighty. Okay. I planted them in among the tomatoes, which was probably a bad idea. Okay, so, but I have not been introduced as part of the pack for the dogs. So, of course, they naturally consider me an intruder. That is perfectly understandable, even if it is kind of irritating. Okay, we've got some little ones. Those are starting to turn red. Those are good. Okay, little red peppers. Red peppers. Okay, so here we go. Wild cucumber in among the grass. Let's see if we have any. See, one of the main plants, there's another pepper by my foot. One of the main melon plants died. I suspect that something ate through the main stem, but I don't see any right now that look like they are ripening. I have 3 inside, and I'll be doing another video later. Okay, let's see. Now we get to the other kinds. These seem to be very, very slow to ripen. So I'm not sure. I think they're a honeydew. Don't know if you can see right there. Right there. Not ready yet. Got whole bunches of looks like, my guess is that this one will be ready in a couple of days. But, okay, so beans that were planted August 1st. And there are lots of blossoms, but I'm not, oh, there's the first beans. First beans, this one's a different variety. This one has purple flowers. Looks like all of these all have white flowers, and that is the only one so far. This one has beans on it as well. Okay, so a couple of these have beans on them. I'm letting the other patch go to seed, the early patch from this spring. Okay, and corn, again, planted August 1st. There's no corn on it yet. Oh, hate weeds. Hate weedy trees are the worst. But anyway, there's a lot of tasseling going on, but I'm not seeing a lot of silks. Looks like there may be some coming. Oh, there's one, but that's not a silk yet. There's no silk there, but it's going to start becoming a corn stalk. If it never puts out silks, then of course it will never get fertilized. So, I believe this one is oregano. Yeah, that one's oregano. I have, this one is a baby licorice plant. Okay. Marshmallow, and it is seeding. Again, planted August 1st. We have some Moscata squashes, and they're doing okay, but no blossoms yet. So let me set this. So, another Moscata. This is another licorice plant. I had some seeds on it earlier in the season, but it doesn't right now. More melons. These also were planted August 1st. And I saw a single, let's see if I can get a good, I think that's actually, okay. There is a single melon right here. There's a melon over here. There's a melon right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's just bloomed. It's probably been pollinated. There's a melon right there. I don't know if any of these will ripen, but we're going to try again. As I said, these were started August 1st, so they're just a little bit over a month old. Tomatoes, cucumbers. There's just so much going on. I lose track, and I'm not sure, what people would be interested in seeing. These are the wild cucumber. This is another licorice plant. This is a second-year licorice plant. These here that I have marked with this white, can you see that? Yeah. These are seeds. I'm hoping that they will ripen. Right now they're still green. There's seeds here, there's seeds here, there's seeds over here. I already have a few inside, but they each one of these pods has 1 or 2 licorice seeds in it. So I've got licorice seeds coming on. Really good thing. Keep thinking. I've never had licorice seed before, so I keep thinking that they're ripe, and then I pull them off and they're still green. I'm leaving these right here because, like I said, I don't know for sure. I'm leaving these right here until they start to fall off on their own. But I have licorice seeds. Speaking of seeds, I need to look at the marshmallow plant. Sorry. Because the marshmallow plant is seeding as well. And I had some seeds from it last week, and I accidentally threw them away. Okay, so after the blossom falls off, what you end up with, let me see if I can find a better example. That one's not ready. I don't want to pull them off when they're not ready, but they kind of crumble when I pull them off, so it's kind of difficult at times. Okay, let's see if this one will show it. Okay. So after the blossom falls off, they have this round donut shape, and the seeds are around that. That is a marshmallow seed. Oh, they're blowing away. That's not good. Okay, so the marshmallow seeds grow around the edges of that donut. And I need to collect marshmallow seeds so that I can grow more marshmallow plants. This one, in theory, a hole in the middle, there's seeds all around that. In theory, this one will survive the winter and go on to be a perennial. But you never know. I want to make sure that I have more marshmallow seeds for next year. I have continued to harvest the marshmallow seeds. I have a few inside, but the ones that I harvested last week all ended up getting thrown away, which wasn't intentional. It was those are what are your marshmallow seeds right there. Okay, so I need to just hold on to those, and it looks like there are more. It may be dropping them, I can't tell, because I thought there were more that were ready, and I don't see them now. That's okay. We will continue to collect marshmallow seeds until there are no more. Okay. This is the tea hibiscus, and it is the beginning of September, and it is just starting to show flower pods. So I'm not sure if any of those are going to ripen. Pull one off so that you can see it. These are just barely starting to show up. So it's going to be another month at least before those are ready to develop. I've done tea hibiscus before, but I didn't keep good records. So anyway, these are the cucumbers, and it looks like this one right here. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Yeah, I think you can see that. That is going to be a seed cucumber. And there is a seed cucumber over here. Okay, yellow one. I've already picked a couple. Another yellow one over here. I don't see any new cucumbers. Let's look at this plant over here. Cucumbers coming on there. But the cucumbers back in the back are going to be the primary. And we have, it's growing up the trellis. are. I took a seed cucumber off here last week and it looks like it's putting out more blossoms, which is good. Any more cucumbers. Okay. All right. But we have the cucumbers at the back. So that's a good one. So apricot tree. Of course, you've seen the trees before. Okay. There's 2 more apricot trees. And there's another one. Oh, over here. Right there. Right there. Okay. All right. Sweet corn is pretty much finished for the year. The corn over here is not sweet corn, it's popcorn. So I'm thinking that that's what I'm going to do for the future, is plant sweet corn in the spring and popcorn in the fall, or vice versa. I think that's enough for today. I have a couple more videos that I want to do inside, but for now, I will talk with you later.